Hey guys, Tina here. Today I'm coming to you with another video in a series of my year in review videos, and this time around I will talk about the rereads of 2016. Now I know that a lot of people really do not like to reread books, but I'm not one of them. I have no problem reading books because sometimes I just love certain books so much that rereading them sort of gives me comfort. Sometimes it's actually just a certain scene that I want to reread, but the books actually that I'm going to mention here, I mostly reread because the sequels were coming out and I was sort of foggy on the details of the previous ones, and yes, that's why I picked them up again. Well, the first book though doesn't fit into any of those categories because it's Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, and you don't need a reason to reread Harry Potter, you just do it because it's Harry Potter. And this time around I decided to pick the illustrated edition because I've never experienced Harry Potter this way and I definitely wanted to do it. This book is just gorgeous. The illustrations by Jim Kay are just beautiful. This cover is gorgeous, as are the pictures inside, and I really liked it. I think it is actually a different experience reading it this way. Here we have Hermione, well, can you see her? Oh, I don't know. And I really liked reading it, and well, Harry Potter just magical, as we all know, and I definitely do not regret spending the time with this book. The next book I reread is Blue Lily Lily Blue by Maggie Stiefvater, which is book 3 in her Raven cycle, and since the last book, The Raven King, was coming out, I decided to reread this one and refresh myself. Now, if you do not know, by some weird coincidence, The Raven Boys, which is book 1 in the series, tells the story of Raven Boys, which consists of Gansey, Adam, Noah, and Rowan, and they meet this girl Blue, and she joins them in their search. They're looking for this mysterious Welsh king that is supposed to be asleep on one of the ley lines and has been asleep for a while, actually like hundreds of years, and so they're trying to find him and wake him up, and if you do that he will grant you a wish, and that's what this series is about basically. And it's a really enjoyable series. The writing is just superb and I really adore these books. Another book that I reread is The Golden Specific by S.T. Grow, which is book 2 in the Mapmaker trilogy, which tells the story of Sophia, who lives in a world that it's where the continents and even parts of the continents are in different time periods, and it's a really interesting world to explore, and she's actually looking for her parents who were explorers and disappeared years back, and now she's doing her hardest to find them. It was a really enjoyable read. I love this series. I have talked about it a lot on this channel. Actually, I have a review of the whole trilogy and I will be linking it in the card symbol and down below, so you can go check it out. I just adore it. Next book I reread is The Copper Gauntlet by Cassandra Clare and Holly Black. This is book 2 in their Magisterium series, and the sequel was coming out, so I decided to reread this one. And it's a short, fast read, so it was, not a hardship again. And these books tell the story of Callum, who lives in a world where there's magic, and he has been taught throughout his life by his father that magic is bad and that he should do his hardest to not get accepted to the Magisterium, which is a school for mages. And he does try to fail, but sadly he's accepted despite that, and we get to see his life in the school and the trouble that he gets into, and see some of his past and how it comes to the forefront again. And it's a really fun read. It's not really it's pretty light. It's a pretty light read, so it's not that difficult to get into, and it's really enjoyable. And since Sarah J. Maas decided to be really productive in these last few years, I had to reread 2 of her books, and the first one was Katar, A Court of Thorns and Roses, which is book 1 in her trilogy, which tells the story of Feyre, who is this human girl, and she at one point kills a fairy wolf, and as her punishment she has to come live with the fairies, and she gets immersed into that world. I will not say much more about these books because I'm pretty sure the booktube community has done a lot of videos on them, and it's hard not to know them, I'm pretty sure. This was okay. Akamath was clearly a lot better, and yeah, but really it's an enjoyable read. It's a new adult, so there's some mature content in it, but yeah, I really enjoy this trilogy so far, and I actually cannot, I'm slightly scared that the third book is not going to be as good and it's going to be disappointing, and hopefully that doesn't happen because, well, I guess we'll always have Akamath. But yeah, still, the third book would be great if it was really great and it just blew me away, and we'll see in May, I guess. And of course I also reread Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas, which is what, book 4 in Throne of Glass series, which tells the story of Selena Sardathian, who is this world-class assassin, and she has been imprisoned for the last year in Dobir, which is a salt mine, and she gets a chance to get out of there if she competes in this tournament that the king has organized, and if she wins she will be the king's assassin, and as such she will be free, and that's what happens in book 1, and clearly this is book 4, so we have, well, gone past that part of the story, and yeah, it was a really enjoyable reread, and there were just so many details and things happening in this book that I definitely had to reread it because I forgot half of the things that happened, and yes, it's a huge book, so, but still, it's a fast read, and there are definitely a few characters that I grew to love in this book that I didn't care for at all before, and I really enjoy. I think it's one of my favorites in the series so far. And lastly, I'm gonna mention one of my favorite authors, and I talk about her all the time, and that is Anne Bishop and her other series. Here we have Written in Red, Murder of Crows, and Visions in Silver, and this are book 1, 2, and 3 in the other series. It's gonna be 5 books, and the book 4 was just coming out at the beginning of this year, and I decided to reread them. You know, not just the last one, but all of them, because I just love this series so much. It tells the story of Meg, who is a blood prophet, and she has been kept in this facility throughout her life, and she manages to escape, and now she finds herself in a courtyard which sort of go between the nature and humanity, and I'm doing a really bad summary here, sorry, but it's just it's urban fantasy books, and the characters are so great. I love them all, and I really enjoy these books. Now this year, well, next year I'll have to reread the 4th one because the last one is coming out, and I just cannot wait to see what happens and how this story concludes. It's definitely one of my favorite series out there, and as I talk about it all the time, so really I should stop and just hope that you pick it up and enjoy it as much as I did. So those were all the books that I reread this year. Let me know down in the comments how you actually feel about rereading, because I think that's an interesting topic to discuss. As I mentioned, a lot of people do not like to reread, and yeah, how do you feel about it? Let me know. And thank you for watching this video, and see you in my next one. Bye!